Welcome to Who Invited Marketing, the podcast that gives marketers the inside scoop on how to level up and stand out. But before we get into the good stuff, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on Spotify, drop a rating. In today's episode, we have Professor Anand Jaiswal, Professor of Marketing at IIM Ahmedabad. We talk a lot about AI in marketing, jobs at Google and Meta, and how marketing is changing today. Here's presenting Professor Anand Jaiswal. Hi, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good to connect with you. Thanks for inviting me to you.
You're very welcome. Sir, you've been a marketing professor at IIM Ahmedabad for nearly 2 decades. In that time, the field has changed dramatically, especially with tech. Let's start there. What do you think about AI? Do you think it will take marketing's job away?
Yeah, so as you all know, AI has every functional area is deeply impacted. However, marketing and manufacturing to some extent, people in fact say that the impact on marketing and sales is far higher than the impact on other functions. So how AI is changing marketing? So we have seen, for example, in last 15 or 20 years, first the impact of internet with the advent of internet. Internet changed several other things, but impact on marketing was profound. Internet, as you know, initially was thought to be giving a new channel to deliver product or to sell different kinds of products to consumers in the form of e-commerce. So e-commerce was thought to be a channel. However, we have seen beyond delivering products online, it has changed the very process of building, the very process of having connect with consumers, the way you advertise, the way you price your product, the way you develop your product, even the way you generate new ideas for product. So every aspect of marketing was greatly with internet. So internet brought in big revolution in marketing domain. And after that, maybe around 10 years ago, we started seeing big impact of social media. Social media started changed marketing, the way we market products traditionally. Now, what we are seeing is maybe the third revolution in recent time after internet and after AI is going to greatly marketing. And when we say marketing, again, it's not only about advertising. Every aspect of marketing. Yes, normally we use basic frameworks in marketing about 5C. For example, when we talk about consumers, understanding consumers, better understanding of behavior, knowing customer well. Then, of course, we are worried about competitors. We wish to know the organization, company also. We wish to understand the context, and we wish to understand also culture and also collaborators. So for all that, like for understanding consumer, for example, AI can give us real big power, real big advantage. Similarly, in traditional marketing, we talked about STP decisions, how to segment market, using demographic variables, psychographic variables. So newer way of segmentation. We are using this new term personalization, or we call hyper personalization, for example. So segmentation in traditional world, we were making real big groups of consumers because it wasn't possible for us to reach out to consumers at an individual level, even at a small group. AI, for example, I can personalize every aspect of marketing. Say, for example, a message which I'm sending to consumer, I can personalize, keeping in mind the profile of every single customer. So this hyper personalization, pricing can be varied from person to person. The value proposition I can also vary from consumer to consumer. So AI is going to affect our STP decisions, going to affect our marketing decisions, in regard to product or pricing decisions, sales management, or even marketing communication. Right. So that's the idea. So what we are seeing right now is very early signal of marketing being changed, marketing as a function getting complete transformation as a result of AI.
How has the rise of platforms, social media platforms, changed the way you teach marketing? Has it at all changed?
So I would say internet, of course, teaching, learning. We have seen, you know, the rise of virtual classrooms, online programs, blended programs. Uh, you know, people have been talking about disrupting educational world. All the startups or online ad tech companies seeing the traditional institution may become redundant, traditional classroom may not be relevant. We haven't seen that. Of course, what we have seen that internet can complement or improve your, conventional pedagogy. So at IIM Ahmedabad, case method in other institutions, lecture or discussion-based approaches. So the existing pedagogies, existing learning approaches can be enhanced uh, with the help of internet. That's why we have incorporated internet in our traditional, classroom delivery. Similarly, we use social media. Social media impact, in at least my view, was limited in classroom at least. In marketing world, of course, we are using social media in big ways. So maybe in our curriculum, we discuss social media. But I am tempted to talk about, the impact of TikTok and certain other platforms. So I see a real big impact on society, and I see this entire, maybe one word I can, it actually democratize a lot of things, especially for people who are less privileged, for example, living in small towns, rural areas, semi-urban areas. Internet eventually social enabled or gave them real big power. So, for example, of course, with data becoming cheaper, very cheap, India is a country with the lowest cost of data, as well as we have very high smartphone penetration. Now that enabled people in deep rural areas. So they are making top videos. They are showcasing their talent to the world. They are being noticed. So earlier there were barriers that we say in traditional world. You had companies and individuals acting as a gatekeeper. So entertainment, for example, if I talk about, we know that traditional offline or conventional world of entertainment, you have real big entry barrier. Even if you are talented, extraordinarily talented, your chance of getting break is very minimal, isn't that? Nepotism we keep talking about, whether we agree or not. Look at what TikTok or now many other platforms. So now you have a power, or you are giving this power to individuals that can make democratization, because now you have cheaper cameras available, good quality videos you can easily make, you can easily disseminate. You have, as long as you have quality in your content, people will notice it. It's a democratization of it, isn't that? So that's why you have unknown people from unknown background becoming real big stars. They have no pedigree per se. So that's a societal impact, democratizing uh, or access to power, access to participate in the market economics, access to opportunities, all that increased initially because of internet, but social media, particularly platforms, unleash that power in a real big.
I feel that what I have seen is on YouTube, especially from India, people who are from villages who are posting their normal chores daily from Kerala or from parts of Bengal. Those videos are getting more attention. They're getting views in lakhs. So that's maybe an indication that the what you were talking about earlier, that it has empowered people from rural regions, but also people who are not familiar with that world are interested and they have a lens into that world right now because of social media.
Exactly. So if you look at, we say that 70% of population still lives in rural areas. So if I'm a marketer and if I, need to, for example, if I need to connect to this group of then people who have, good, kind of, we talk about, social media influencer marketing. TikTok. So invariably, marketers are interested in using stars from this world, this part of the world. So if you have a big following in TikTok or any other platform, for example, in rural areas, semi-urban areas, marketers will be interested, leveraging your popularity. Other one is that even this group of population needs, entertainment or content in their own language, in their own style, as per their taste and preference. So people from the same background, from same area, are more likely to deliver that. Social media, there was content generation for this group of, population. So they have an advantage because that they are part of this world. So this is the idea. And invariably, some of them have action for everybody, not just rural or urban areas. So as you said, many of them have become a big popular or well-known name even in the urban world.
Absolutely. Let's talk about skills. What skills matter most right now that you think did not matter 10 years ago?
When we talk about marketing management or skills you need as a marketer, so there we got, there's certain elements which are like a building block, the basic skill. For example, as I was saying that as a marketer, you need a real good understanding of, basic toolkits of marketing man. You need to be good in understanding consumer, having ability to build a real good connect with consumer, your ability to segment consumers appropriately, develop right value proposition, decide right brand positioning, taking right pricing decision, developing right products, right product presentation, dealing sales force or making sure the right visibility of your product in the store, retailing and product presentation there, all that merchandising, for example, all of these, these are traditional, areas in marketing and you need to be good in that. Now, what we see from time to time, technological disruptions or new technology or new technological waves, impacting the marketing man. So what we are currently seeing as we were talking about earlier, we have seen digital technologies or internet impacting market and social media. Now, AI, is happening to be doing the same. So AI is a new technological wave. So basic, you know, the basic building blocks of marketing or the way marketing works, that's not going to change. We will continue segmenting market. We'll continue deciding the right positioning of brand, or we need to take pricing decision. We need to take, product development related decisions. So those decisions or those, you know, content areas in marketing would continue to be relevant. However, the way we take those decisions, with, AI may influence or may impact or greatly revolutionize the way we take these decisions. For example, the pricing decision. So maybe AI can, as I was saying, that we have now possibility of hyper personalization, that I can vary pricing for every single customer, or I can use dynamic pricing to a great extent based on, yeah, real time data or based on your individual. So I can track consumers. I have all the data about consumers' past transactions, past behavior, or complete detail about consumers' profile. Now I can therefore, based on real time information, based on complete, transactional history, or based on the demographic details of consumers, I can customize my price. I can customize my offering. I can modify my pricing decision, or I can actually also even change my channel decision sometimes, where exactly you're doing shopping, which is your most preferred, say, shopping format, for example. So AI will help me in taking improved decisions, better decisions. But the way marketing works isn't that that's not going to change. The building blocks of marketing would continue to be same. It's not that now we have entirely new book of marketing data. People do say that, but my understanding is that marketing will influence the way we take these decisions. But branding would continue to be relevant in AI age also, isn't that? Advertising or marketing communication will continue to be important, but maybe we'll use new type of advertising. Maybe will our spend on conventional mass media may come down. Maybe brands are already using influencers, or brands may use avatars or virtual VA, virtual agents, for example, or maybe virtual endorsers. They're talking about that, and it's happening that there's a possibility that hyper-personalization, you have seen the Cadbury ad, some years ago, maybe the last year ago, where you have so many different, customization, a very different degree of customization, like a Sarukhan, for example, endorsing a local sweet shop or a local retail store or a local grocery wala. So that's AI has enabled to use a real big celebrity for promoting your shop in your local area to a local population. That is made possible. However, you know we this is essentially again creating visibility, connect, reaching out to a large number of consumers, making your value proposition known a bigger population. So that's the idea. So the basic building blocks are not going to change, but the way we take decisions, you know, that's going to be greatly changed as a result of AI-enabled or AI-based technologies.
So one can say that today in for a marketer, so he or she has to learn the basic building blocks of marketing as well as the tools that enhance the knowledge of those uh, or has better execution capabilities.
Yeah, so you need to know you should be knowing the basics of marketing management, how marketing as a function operates, how marketing influence consumer behavior, how marketing helps us in achieving organizational goal, or how marketing works in the first place. So all that is a basic, basics of marketing. Or you need to know basic building blocks of marketing. So that's a prerequisite. That's why usually like undergraduate or graduate programs like BPO or MBA, there is some sort of formal training in marketing. There are courses, there are specific teaching interventions which can help you in understanding or knowing about the basics of marketing. So that is needed. That of course is not that's not going to go away. But as I said, with technology, with disruptive technology like AI, for example, now the way we take decisions, so we need to equip with new knowledge. So otherwise we may be outdated if we just know the basics, but if we are not contextualizing our knowledge, or we are not learning new knowledge. So new knowledge is how, for example, AI is changing, or what AI is allowing or can allow us to do, for example, or how to use these AI-based apps or technologies for taking specific decisions, as it whether it's advertising or marketing or pricing or product development. So unless until I know what is AI, how AI is evolving, or what AI can deliver or do, if or how AI is, uh, you know, AI is actually helping in taking different decisions in marketing. If I don't know all of that, then of course I'm not in a position to use it effectively, or I'm not in a position to use it. Isn't that so? This is a new knowledge acquisition needed from a marketer's point of view.
So do you right now do you teach not just basics of AI but how to use AI better in your curriculum? Is there something like that?
Yeah, so at in my institution, for example, so we, tend to contemporize our curriculum every year. So in our core courses, compulsory package, for example, if we see, certain uh, major market trends or certain new technologies coming in or affecting business world, invariably we incorporate that in our curriculum. So in our core courses, for example, we follow case-based pedagogy. So we attempt to every year we attempt to update our curriculum, add 2 or 3 new cases, uh, so that we can teach a student what is current, what is actually needed in the market at this point of time. But in elective courses, for more specialized courses, we have a full-fledged courses on AI. So there you can actually uh, learn about the latest in the technology. What is the early sign of say disruptions we are seeing. So we attempt to prepare our students, our participants, with the newer technological challenges unfolding in the market.
Got it, sir. How do you teach students to balance what is trending with what is timeless?
So the same thing, as I said, that building blocks in marketing will continue to be same. Basic tools for understanding consumers, understanding consumer needs, whether hidden, stated, unstated, customer centricity, market orientation, all these concepts, again, as I was saying, market segmentation, brand positioning, marketing mix decision. So these are all timeless. If you have real good understanding of marketing, then you can use AI effectively, isn't it? Let us assume if I don't know how marketing operates, my understanding of marketing is minimal, and I'm great or experts in AI, then I cannot still use AI because I don't know where to use or what to use or how to use, isn't it? So knowing AI alone cannot actually solve my problem. That's why knowledge of AI is important, or any latest technology or any revolutionary change happening in the market. You need to beat not just AI. Along with AI, related to that, we have a marketing analytics, for example, big data, machine learning. So like marketing is greatly affected because of revolution in data. We have with know, computing power going up, with data availability. Now, marketers are increasingly trying to use uh, the explosive data which is being made available. So that's also very important.
Completely agree with you, sir. So I was reading a post on LinkedIn where that guy was talking about hyper personalization, and he was talking about the kind of emails that he has received in that week. So, talking about hyper personalization, he got an email where it started with "Hi," and what his name was. Loved seeing you on that match today. And then the person who was writing the post, he says that I've never been to that match. I have never been to that conference. So all this is result of hyper personalization. He has found my content, my contact through a tool, and then has figured out a way to reach out to me, but the content is all wrong. So it's completely false. He doesn't know how to. The person reaching out, the salesperson, he hasn't used personalization to the best of his abilities, and it's just copy pasted stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So as you have rightly said that if his AI toolkits or AI technology is not appropriately used, then it can, of course, backfire. You need to have good understanding of how to use AI. So, for example, you can improve your decision making, can take more efficient decision, faster decisions. But AI cannot, um, replace the marketing skill. Isn't the traditional marketing skill? It can augment, it can complement, or it can improve the efficiency of marketers, but it cannot make marketers redundant. That suddenly you have tech people or AI people saying that I will take care of your marketing function, for example. That's not going to happen.
Love that answer. Uh, Now, zooming out from platforms to people, how has your view of marketing skills evolved over the years? And most importantly, should virality be a goal, or is that bad marketing logic?
Yeah, so see, in marketing, advertising, or marketing communication is always a major issue. We need to create awareness, brand awareness. For example, people should know me and my brand. They should know my value proposition, what I'm tending to offer to consumer. They should also know the relative benefits my brand is offering against the other alternative in the market. A message should be noticed. It should, consumers should pay attention to that. From that point of view, virality or viral marketing, uh, is in some way expected in every marketing actions. If my messaging is reaching out to right people, if they're further talking about that, even in offline world, there used to be word of mouth. There is interesting communication, interesting brand messaging, interesting promotion program, interesting product offer. And of course, what happened in online world initially because of internet, eventually because of social media, and of course now with AI enabled tool, that now you have not just simple word of mouth, you have a e-word of mouth. Virality is a e-word of mouth. So in offline world, maybe we were influencing the behavior of 10 others or 20 others or maybe 15, most in most cases, not beyond 50 or maybe little more. But in e-world, electronic world, social media, I can, in few seconds, I can send my message to several thousands of people. Isn't that? I can send that bad review I have or bad experience I had with a brand. I can let know, or some not so good experience with the company. I can immediately record the video or share the email communication. Or in fact, I did a research how when companies are not responding, a lot of people actually lodge their complaint through their Twitter, through their Facebook, through their other social media platform. And so the idea, of course, virality, therefore, the speed at which marketing messages or any message for that matter spreads out, that has gone exponential. So virality, that's a problem. Like if you have interesting message or otherwise, even controversial message, not so good message about a brand, it can just in like few hours or just in 24 hours, you can see, spreading that message is spreading a very, very large part of population, isn't that? So virality is kind of an outcome, or it's like a part and parcel of digital world and the world of social media. We were like using outbound marketing. Means we had this no option but to listen radio or still watch television advertisements. Nowadays, it matters, what type of communication you have in your pursuit to make things viral. Sometimes brands may end up using, say, negative tactics or unnecessary controversies. We have seen several big controversies where messages have been withdrawn from the market, these apologizing for hurting sentiments. Isn't that so? That's the
What I'm understanding is virality has always been the goal, but it was in the form of word of mouth. Whereas now, because of the internet world that we live in, it has dire consequences, good and bad. So it has to be done with great care. And it's still the goal as it was 20 years ago.
exactly.
Got it. So security has a significant effect on loyalty in your papers. What security related factors are most important to consumers, customers, and how can online businesses ensure they are addressing these concerns effectively?
The research I did it, but that's quite old now. That was on the e-commerce, and when e-commerce was just making inroads in India. So that time the security was more of more from the point of view of security of transactions done in online media on internet when you're buying something and when you're using your credit card or when you're providing your phone number or email. So security and privacy issues used to be sometimes deterrent for people for not like for doing online shopping or purchasing things online. Of course, a lot of water has flown then since, and e-commerce has become part and parcel of our lives. People are using, UPI big way now. Even through other urban areas, online payment is common, so I can use UPI while buying from Amazon or Flipkart or any other e-commerce player. So, and UPI by and large is seen as a safe uh, payment mechanism. But even then, every now and then we see all these frauds happening. So with online medium, or online payment, we have a lot more flexibility, convenience. But then with that also there is increased risk of frauds happening, get people being duped up. So therefore, safety continue to be concern, and even bigger concern, given that the number of percentage of online transaction in total line transactions, that figure has gone up very, very significantly in last few years. With UPI particularly, that people make online transactions. However, with AI, we are moving in uncharted territory, and nobody has figured out, because AI is offering never before kind of promises, as we were discussing, hyper personalization. But that also means that now marketer may be tracking my activities across app, across platforms. With AI, this is possible that I can, when you're dealing with me, through mobile app, but I have your information, you know, in terms of your past history, transaction history, not just through mobile, but what you did, when you were buying something from the retail store or from your laptop, or, through other, you know, multi-brand store or exclusive store. Isn't that so? Because now I can collate data, integrate data. Isn't that so? I have all the data. So that means now so hyper personalization is an outcome or a new promise. The cost of that is that all my data is now with, uh, you know, a marketer, with a company. Isn't it? Every single data is now is recorded, is captured. So there's a new way, new safety concerns, new risk. AI helping you generating videos or deep fake or hyper personalized videos. I can, for example, if I have a new microwave or a new smartphone, I can actually make entire manual of using these products in a video format. In offline world, making video, editing them, everything used to take days and sometimes weeks and months. Isn't it? Now with AI, I can do this in 100, 1000s of the cost. And but then also, so that's the positive side. The negative side is all the problems we have seen about deep fakes.
Absolutely. Let's talk about students now, especially the ones who dream of working at the Googles and Metas of the world. When a student says, I want to work at Google or Meta, what's the first thing you as a professor tell them?
Of course, Google or Meta or many of these companies, many such companies, tech companies, continue to be the most attractive options for MBA graduates or graduates, and that's the reality. And there is a lot of advantage when you work with these companies, because you're working in the frontier areas. You're at cutting edge of the technology, because these are the companies, Meta or Google or Microsoft. They are at the forefront of technology. They are investing billions of dollars in AI or all new emerging technologies. So you have an opportunity to work in most cutting edge areas. So that's, of course, that's why you will find graduates or MBAs typically excited about working with these companies. Often we say that don't necessarily go with the brand. Think about long term career. In first few years, it's more like a foundational work, building a strong foundation. Not just brand name, not just even the remuneration. What is important is learning. Invariably, or your company is known to be very good, for example, not just well or Meta, the MBA programs, for example, traditional consumable product company like FMCGs probably would have heard about Unilever, P&G, or Pepsi, Coke, Nestle, for example, Dabur, Godrej, all of them, are generally seen as very interesting or exciting employers. These companies are seen as real good employers because they give you opportunity to hone your marketing skill, the sophisticated. So in early stage of career, we often, I think you would have heard about this. No, the experience of Narayan Murthy. So when Narayan Murthy joined after he shared that with us when he was here a few years ago as part of our convocation, chief guest. After his PG from IIT Kanpur, he had option of joining Air India and several other multinationals. But and at the same time, he managed to secure a job at computer lab of IIM Ahmedabad as a lab assistant. Now, you can understand working as a lab assistant wasn't so glamorous or so exciting. It's low paid job. But his guide told me that IIM Ahmedabad has brought sophisticated, computational machines, and he will have far intense learning opportunities. So you can get never before learning experience. And therefore he, left very exciting and glamorous jobs, high paying jobs to join IIM Ahmedabad Computer Lab as a lab assistant. Now, in his own experience, those proved to be real big formative years for him. The learning he had while working on new technologies for in first 2 years of his life or first 1.5 years of life was extraordinarily different, isn't that? So that's I would actually recommend graduates and postgraduate to learn from that with experience, at least in early stage of career. Learning opportunities can be real primary goal.
But it's an absolutely agree. Talk about personal branding. How important is personal branding in today's world when applying to big name companies or, like you said, FMCGs?
Yeah, so in traditional world or in the old time, it was difficult for us or maybe any marketer or even graduates or working professional to showcase their skill set to the world so easily because sending out message requires resources and big companies had resources. So messaging in some way or communication used to be from big companies to consumers or organization to employees, isn't it? But with internet, with social media, and now with AI, and with of course platform like LinkedIn, you can actually build your profile, whatever you're doing. If you've written real good article or a blog, or you have made a program or algorithm, you have developed a framework, or you have build a model, for example, to use a to evaluate different AI based app for a given purpose, or you have a framework to select different AI tools for different jobs or different tasks. Now, you can now there is a possibility that through all these social media platforms. So if I have a skill set, if I've done some good work, I can showcase my even as an individual, I can showcase my strength, my output, my brain work to the external world rather easily.
Uh, can you share an example of a student who successfully made it and what did they do differently?
Yeah, so I don't want to name specific individuals, but there are, of course, people like, say, for example, in engineering or science domain, it's easy. They have an interesting algorithm, interesting product idea, or interesting product, and they just kind of uploaded that or presented that idea, and people noticed it, isn't that? Even though maybe they may be operating from a you know small country or a developing country or in a small town. So that's the idea. That's a personal branding, getting attention or possibility of if you have a good idea, great idea, then you can attract the attention. And sometimes there will be people to invest in your idea or there people will value that.
Uh, According to you, what's one company that you are really impressed with right now in terms of marketing?
Yeah. So as I said that the traditional B2C companies, especially FMCGs, consumer good companies, yeah, they use a lot more sophisticated marketing. They have a lot more marketing savviness, customer centricity they demonstrate. So again, as I was saying, that be it Unilever or P&G or that, or Tata Consumer Products or ITC. All these companies may be a real good place to learn marketing and grow your career. But of course, I have, if at all you force me to select that, as a in general, Tata Group or Tata Group companies continue to be my preferred employers because of the goodwill they have, all the interesting thing. At the same time, you know, they are competing successfully with the best of companies in every single industry they have.
Got it, sir. Now I have a rapid fire for you. Just go with it instinct. Yeah. Favorite marketing book?
So, favorite marketing book, I so it's not necessarily marketing, but it's also marketing to, you know, POP. So I would say that Fortunate Bottom of the Pyramid by C.K. Pella continue to be my favorite.
B2B or B2C?
B2C, at least from a learning point of view, but once you're seasoned marketers, once you have learned basics of marketing, then in B2B, you have a real big opportunity to make difference and then, transform, create.
Email marketing, dead or alive?
It's mostly dead because, email used to be, traditional form of outbound marketing. Now we have this rise of inbound marketing means you're trying to, pull consumer instead of pushing your message, forcing your message. Uh, like email is now synonymous with spams or unsolicited mail or too many. So that outbound marketing or email marketing is seen as it's a kind of, it's in some way it's a disturbance marketing from consumers' point of view,
Wow.
intrusive marketing. So now we have a, that's why we say inbound marketing means create a condition a consumer will reach out to you. Consumer, that's why you need content marketing. Create educational content, interesting content. uh, and consumer will invariably, they can be and they will be attracted to your content and will be interested in knowing more about your brand, building a relationship with you as a brand. And in that process, you can acquire them and eventually retain them.
Love that disturbance marketing. Paid ads or organic growth?
Organic, because again, organic is an, wherever possible. Organic is form of, again, inbound marketing. On the contrary, you have paid advertising like SEM, search engine marketing, or, you know, basically other form of digital like banner ads, or other traditional paid advertising. In many cases, the traditional paid advertising is not working because consumers, you know, they have in some way developed resistance or they are, averse to actually act on the message sent through the paid ad.
Influencer marketing, is it worth it?
Yeah, it's worth it if it's used with care. Of course, right now, every single marketer is trying to use influencer marketing because it's an alternative to traditional celebrity endorsement or traditional mass marketing. And traditional mass marketing or even celebrity endorsement used to cost a lot. And increasingly, as I said, that is, uh, you know, consumers are not necessarily interested in going with the advice of big celebrities. So they have developed at times resistance because they know that they're paid to endorse a brand. Whereas influencers are known as, trusted next door entities, just like you and me. So therefore, they carry this
Absolutely.
advantage of be like me, and therefore they sometimes create a lot more impact than the celebrities.
Uh, Content marketing, long form or short form?
So, consumer attention, or span of consumer attention has come down. So now, we are living in a, short or small videos, small text. So in some way, of course, to start with, to attract attention, you need short text or videos. But eventually, that's, I assume, the first step. Eventually, consumer want, at least from a marketing point of view, they need more information about brand. They need more details about the type of experience you're going to offer. How is your product different? So they wish to be educated about the product you have or the brand you have. So there, I invariably I need. I cannot then do this with just few sentences or with a small.
Yeah. Loyalty programs still relevant?
Yeah, they're relevant as long as you have, for example, they are designed appropriately, they're customized, and they are customer friendly. So loyalty programs which creates value for customers, creates customer engagement, they will continue to be important.
And last question, what's the next big thing in marketing?
So next big thing is, so as I was saying, that automation and hyper personalization. That with AI, for example, a lot of things can be automated. Like for example, messaging, where we write down the mails we send, standardized mails. For example, maybe increasingly with large language models or Gen AI, there's a possibility that more customized emails, customized product demonstration, product guides, more customized offers. So AI kind of making this idea of hyper personalization reality. So probably that's.
Amazing. That's all of my questions. Thank you so much, sir, for being here today. It was so insightful and so fun.
Thanks a lot for inviting me to your channel, and it was great experience having an interaction with you or having a talk with you.
Thank you so much, sir. This was a real masterclass for marketers straight from a professor at India's premier marketing institute. It was an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. Bye, everyone. If you found this episode helpful, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button on YouTube and drop a rating on Spotify. It really helps more marketers discover these expert insights. For episode updates and even more marketing wisdom, follow the Who Invited Marketing LinkedIn page. Thanks for tuning into Who Invited Marketing. I'll see you in the next episode.